Hey, my friends, what's going on? Glad that you're here. I want to share with you about how our client was able to drop her blood sugar by over 100 points, and that was without cutting out carbs or going on any additional medication. And our client, Lisa, she struggled with blood sugar spikes and crashes after her LADA or latent autoimmune diabetes in adults diagnosis. Her blood sugars were going up into the 300s. She had unintentional weight loss of around 20 pounds. She felt like it made her look older, and she was struggling to dose her insulin. It was leading to like these big spikes, and then when she had to take a bunch of insulin to compensate for that, it dropped down. And so just roller coastering all day long. And so if you're new here and we haven't quite connected yet, my name is Isaac Pohlman. I am a registered dietitian. I'm a fellow person with type 1 diabetes. And what we do is we help our clients improve their blood sugar for good. And the way that we do that is we dig down deep into what is going on inside of your body. We are not a one size fits all cookie cutter program where we're telling everybody to do the same thing or tell you to cut out carbs or fast or anything like that. In fact, what we're going to do is help you identify your sweet spots for things like carbs and really uncover the unique reasons as to why you have blood sugar imbalances to begin with, the root cause. That way you can get unstuck and see improvements fast. And then number two, we're going to help you revive your metabolism with personalized nutrition, lifestyle shifts that of course support more balanced blood sugar, but also you feeling great in the process. And that way you don't have to obsess over every single bite of food that you put into your body. And then naturally that comes with less confusion, less overwhelm, less of that stuck feeling because you're not lost in this information overload, but you know exactly what to do, how to eat, how to fuel your body in a way that works for you. And then number three, helping you to achieve carb freedom by addressing things like mineral imbalances, which are really the main root cause of blood sugar issues to begin with that are so often overlooked. And when we address this once and we really do it in the right way for you and your body, you can enjoy steady blood sugar without having to constantly worry about where it's at, how to eat, how things are impacting it, and really just have more peace of mind around your health. And so if that sounds good to you and you're wanting to balance your blood sugar, restore your health for good, message me the word interest. And then from there, we can set up a one-on-one conversation to see if, we're the best team to help you with your blood sugar and your health goals. Now, back to Lisa, because she had tried working with local dietitians and conventional doctors and endocrinologists, supplements like vitamin A and B and C and D, and thiamine, collagen, iron, magnesium, right? Medications like metformin and insulin and Januvia, staying active and jumping on her trampoline at home and walking. But a lot of these really didn't help with her roller coastering levels and made her lose more muscle weight, in her opinion, look older and just feel more deprived because they told her that she couldn't have fruit. And this was until she started using the Pohlman Method. And so here's how we helped her. Number one, we really started addressing her stress response. And this is the most important piece to blood sugar stability for any of our clients, right? If you have blood sugar issues, you will 100% have a stress response that is quite sensitive, meaning whether your life is stressful or not, your body's just sensitive to your environment and it releases more stress hormones than it really should. And as a result, your blood sugar is more prone to rising, spiking, especially when you eat carbs. And this was the case for Lisa, and you'll see this actually in her nutrient test, coming up here because she had the highest sodium and potassium numbers that I've really seen. And this isn't because she's consuming a lot of those things, like consuming a lot of salts or potassium supplements or anything like that. It's more so because our body's going through it so much. It's wasting it. It's depleted, right? And as I mentioned before, you could also see this in her blood sugar. With eating very little carbs, it would spike her up very, very quickly into the 300s. And then she would need a lot of insulin to bring it back down. And then that extra insulin caused a low blood sugar. So she's just fluctuating all day long. And of course, no one's going to feel great when that is happening. Lisa was also dealing with levels that were consistently high. And whenever that happens, especially over a longer period of time, what ends up happening is your body starts to get used to that level. It considers that your new level of normal. Now, if we look at someone that doesn't have diabetes or blood sugar issues, their normal is probably around 80 or 90, right? Well, if they were to drop their blood sugar by 40 or 50 points, what ends up happening is they're in the 40s or in their 50s, and your body's going to have reactions to that because of that level of the drop. Same thing if your baseline's at 300 or 250. Even if you drop that to 200, your body's going to interpret that as a low blood sugar, and you'll get the shakiness, the dizziness, the lightheadedness that's so often associated with low blood sugar. And so that was a huge obstacle for her to actually get her blood sugar down where she wanted it to be. She didn't feel good at those levels. And that's the other thing that we worked on, really doing this in a methodical manner so it wasn't impacting the way that she feels. Because remember, blood sugar is not just about the number on the scale. That's important, but it's also about how you feel at that number. That's the thing. We see clients that really decide to make decisions around anything that will help to improve those numbers. And oftentimes, when you just focus on one variable of your health, it unintentionally comes at the expense of many other pieces of your health where you don't feel great in terms of energy, you don't sleep well, you feel more stressed, you have more of an unstable mood. There's so many pieces that come at the expense of that. And so our goal for any client that works with us, including Lisa, is to help her improve her numbers, but do it in a way that works for her body. And that's where the biofeedback comes in. And this is something that is not even touched upon in various low carb diets, dietitians, doctors, because again, it's all about the numbers. But remember, balanced blood sugar is both feeling good and having good numbers. You can't separate the two. Otherwise, it ends up backfiring. For this to be ultimately sustainable and last for long after we're done working with her or any other client, this has to be something that allows her to feel good and achieve good numbers. It can't be one without the other. And so to do this, we helped her really fine tune the meal combinations, the activities that allowed her to feel her best day in and day out as she was bringing that blood sugar back down. And then number 3, we balanced her body's minerals. What we wanted to see is, what did that look like to begin with? And so we ran something called the HTMA. And the HTMA is a hair tissue mineral analysis test. And it's taken from your head, and it represents the nutrient stores, particularly the minerals that are in your body at the cellular level. Because if you think about a hair follicle, it's at the cell level, right? Versus blood work, some can be okay to look at, and we do blood work, but it has to be the right test and actually looking at the range. Versus HTMA, it picks these deficiencies up very quickly. And so we could see, despite her having normal sodium, normal potassium in her blood, we could see at the cell level she was very deficient and just using up a ton of it. And it makes sense considering she was coming from a background of high stress. Her body had an exaggerated stress response, was using up a lot of this potassium and sodium, but also same thing with her diabetes. Whenever we have fluctuating blood sugars that swing really up and down quite high, we're using up more of those nutrients. And then she also had experience with something known as DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, where your body produces an excessive amount of ketones, not like the ketogenic diet. I'm talking like 100,000 times more than that. And it leads to nausea and vomiting and often needing a hospital. And if it's not addressed, you can slip into a diabetic coma and pass away. So very serious. But during DKA, your body uses up a ton of nutrients, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and you often need IVs because it actually ends up showing up at the blood level, which becomes very, very serious, right? If you don't have nutrients in your blood. So that was big considering her background. And so we helped her from a lifestyle perspective hold on to more of those minerals, but also replenish those. We also found that she was deficient in calcium and deficient in copper. Both of those go hand in hand because when your body has enough copper, it actually raises calcium levels. And what calcium does is it slows your body down so it's not so amped up and hyperactive and sensitive, which really does help with blood sugar as well. Copper, same thing, it helps with energy, insulin sensitivity. And so as a result of getting that HTMA, what we really focused in on was helping her body not use up so much minerals. And this is the thing with many people that supplement or know about minerals. They often focus in on, okay, what supplement can I take? What food can I get in? And not to say that that's not important if you're doing the right things for you, specifically based on testing, but so many people miss out on the biggest piece, like 75% of it is how can you help your body hold on to more of those beneficial minerals? Because when you can do that and then add in the 25% of the replenishment of the specific nutrients that your body needs, well, that's the percentage. And many people focusing on the 25% instead of the 75%, the holding on to. And that's a byproduct of both food and your lifestyle. And so, as a result of focusing on these three areas, what we found with Lisa's blood sugar is it dropped on average. We're talking about average blood sugar, dropped by over 100 points. She has consistent readings in the low 70s in the mornings, low hundreds after meals. She feels great with stable blood sugar under 100. And she reintroduced fruit that her previous doctor told her not to eat without any spikes. She gained healthy weight back and feels younger again. She no longer has nighttime cramps that wake her up, and she feels healthy again. And so, if you are ready to balance your blood sugar sustainably and really restore your health for good, like Lisa, DM me the word interest, and from there, we can set up a one on one conversation to see if we are the best team to help you with your blood sugar and your health goals.